Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest forecast heading into this Tuesday on this first day of July. Hard to believe. Yesterday, final day of June, mid-80s, a little bit on the cool side for this time of year. And taking a look at June in review, we had an average high temperature of 86.2, not as hot as last June, and certainly got a little bit warmer than what is typical. And certainly when you factor in the lows, we were also 0.1 degrees above average for the month of June. The coolest temperature being 52, the warmest being 97, and average high temperature much warmer for the second half of the month compared to the first half, getting 4.63 inches of rainfall, so fell a little bit short. Didn't quite get the rainfall yesterday in the Topeka area that we wanted to, but 2.91 of that 4.63 inches fell on one day earlier in the month, which happened to be when the Emporia rain gauge wasn't working, so that's why you can add on about 5 inches onto that total of 0.68 inches of rainfall for the month. Above average for Manhattan and a little bit below average for Concordia. So kind of just depending on where you are in Northeast Kansas, depending on how much rain you got and if you ended up being above average or below average for June. Let's take a look at July. Average high temperature today, 89, 69 the low. Will be generally below that for the low, but around that high for today. And then for the end of the month, the low stays the same with an average high temperature at the end of the month at 91. You can see the sunrise sunset time changes, and typically we get just short of 4 inches of rain for the month, which is our driest month of the summer season. June, July, August, this month is typically the driest. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be drier than normal, which when you see the forecast, it may not seem like it for July. You'll see why here in a little bit, because I do have several chances for showers and thunderstorms over the holiday weekend, but it's not going to amount to a whole lot of rainfall. So I would say we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. Temperature-wise, we'll have probability of above average temperatures not only here in Kansas, but across the entire country. No surprise there either. So what can we expect for today? Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Ignore that icon. I forgot to update it. It's going to be sunny. No rain chance whatsoever. So with that sunshine, our UV index is going to be on the very high side at 10, which means 20 minutes of burn time if you're not protected. So please keep that in mind. The good news about today is our humidity will be low. It's still going to be muggy. Don't get me wrong. We're not talking about fall low humidity type dew point temperatures, although upper 50s are still possible in some spots. And then I think the humidity gradually increases throughout the rest of the week and start of the weekend. So it's going to get more uncomfortable here in the coming days. But with these temperatures getting back up in the low 90s heading into Wednesday and Thursday, it's not going to be awful. We may still have mid to even upper 90s for heat index values, but not to the extent of triple-digit heat index values. And then all eyes are on the weekend, because we will have on and off showers and thunderstorms throughout the weekend. Temperature is generally still around 90. So here's a look at Supercast. And forgive me, I forgot to put pause points on here. Showing showers and thunderstorms at times throughout the holiday weekend. It looks like it's a lot. It really does. Through Friday, though, this is how much rain we're going to get. So we're talking about just Friday by itself, not including the rest of the holiday weekend. Now, as we get into the rest of the holiday weekend, it does increase a little bit. Obviously, we're still too far out to get into specific timing, which is why I didn't want to backtrack and put pause points in there, but you get the idea that we are looking at some rain possible for the 4th of July and then throughout the holiday weekend, but still some dry time too. So I'm not confident on saying you need to start canceling outdoor plans on any one particular day. What can we expect on Friday into Friday evening? A little bit different scenario than what the European model had, but still, generally speaking, most areas are not going to get a whole lot of rain. And then for the rest of the holiday weekend, almost very similar as far as how much rain we could potentially get, generally around 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. We'll obviously be monitoring that closely as we get closer towards the weekend, but until then, we will be dry for the next couple of days. As I mentioned, it's a little bit deceiving that you just saw July's outlook being drier than normal, but at least here in the short term, for the first couple weeks, or the first half of July, we have probability of wetter than normal conditions. Now, overall, it's probably not going to amount to a whole lot, but at least the pattern calls for wetter than normal conditions. Now, obviously, in that 6 to 10 day range, we're not really talking about the holiday weekend. That's more before the 6 days. So take that with what you will. We'll have to continue to monitor next week after the holiday weekend. But bottom line is, there's a lot of details that we'll have to be monitoring closely, especially after these next 3 days. But I think for these next 3 days, we're in the clear with no rain chances. So you have at least 3 days to take advantage of that, enjoy it, especially with the low humidity today, relatively speaking. And then just be mindful of the heat that we'll have even today, but certainly into Wednesday and Thursday as the temperatures get a little bit hotter, making sure you're staying safe in the heat. Have a great day.